Hi friends, it's Tracy from the Financial Freedom Diary, and today we are back to discuss my plans. What's going on with job, family, me, and how I see myself in the future when I'm debt free. So, and this is like a follow up to the other video that I did about the CARES Act and the student loan benefits. And I think I promised this to you. But if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing below. And thank you all for returning. I appreciate each and every last one of you who keep coming back time and time again, supporting me. I need that. And I also need all the tips that y'all share, because even if I can't do some of the things, I do actually look into them. Some things fit, some things don't. So I appreciate each and every last one of y'all. So let me get started. I want to discuss like job and family. I don't know if you guys know, but my sons and I, we all work for the same company. My boys are in operations and I am in a support function. I'm not in IT, like the real IT for the company, but I am in an IT role within one of the operating companies. So I do web development and project management. I'm currently in a state of trying to get rid of the development activities and just take on more of the project manager role, because I am getting older and I don't see myself doing that in the future. It's just not something I want to do. But that's where I'm at. So I'm in that transition phase right now. And we haven't heard anything as far as like layoffs or pay cuts or anything like that. So my budgets and everything are going to be as they were before, until I hear otherwise. If I had to predict, I'm guessing that we probably won't get a pay increase, and we're definitely not getting our bonuses, because that was determined in 2019, but that may carry on into 2021, 2022, that kind of thing. So I'm just going to take it. I'm lucky to be employed and I'm thankful for that. So yes, and praying daily, not just for myself, but for everyone to get back to some sense of normal where people can get back to work. Now, I know you guys haven't heard me. I think I talked about it once. I keep thinking that I never talked about it, but I think I may have discussed it once briefly as far as the stimulus and stuff like that. For me, I, I I'm glad they're offering the stimulus and for people who need it. Personally, since I'm working, I'm okay without it. And it's not from a I'm better than perspective, but it is from a place of that money should go to people who actually need it and not me. Also, when I did my taxes, and well, recently, my refund was $300. And I don't know if I told you guys or not, but it was only $300 because of the quarterly taxes that you guys saw me. It was a part of my budget. I would take that money out and set it aside and send it off. But because of that, that's why I got that refund. But I actually paid in more than $300. So with my pay increase and any side hustle money that I earn, I have to make sure this year I plan on taking out 30% to make sure I'm paying in enough taxes. So the stimulus coming to me is going to affect my return when I file it in 2021, because this is 2020, but when I file it, and I will end up owing that money in addition to. So I'd rather that now, if it's an opt-in type thing, if it's not and it's automatic, then it's one of those things where I'm gonna have to let it sit in an account, so that way when the time comes I can just pay it back to them. Now, student loan debt. I told you guys that I was going to continue to pay my student loans April through September and try to take advantage of the 0% interest. My original goal was pay everything the way I had always been doing it, which meant that I made the monthly payment, which affected everything. I made the interest only payment, which affected all those loans that I had designated. I needed to make an extra payment to just to cover the interest. And then everything else would be my snowball on the smallest student loan. But I've been thinking about that. And so I think the way I'm going to go is, since there's no interest on the loans and there's no change in the balances and everything, what I can do is leave everything alone and just focus on the one. And so whatever is my lowest loan, focus on that one and let that be what I tackle each month. And even though I won't be making any progress on the other loans, at least I'll be paying several loans off in this like 6-month period. And so there are 4 of them that I'm going to take on during this time frame, and I'm hoping to get all 4 of those paid off. And I have my notes right here. Y'all can't see it, but it's right here. I'm hoping to pay a total of $13,320.66 in this 6-month time frame. So that way, all of those are gone. And then once October 1st hits and the interest is starting to accumulate on the loans, I only have to focus on the remaining 7 that I'll have left at that time. And then I'll be in that 4,000 range as far as my student loans are concerned. But yeah, that was the plan. And I think that it'll work for me unless something happens with the job and I hear something different and I have to change up my plans. If that happens, then I have to just change to go along with that. So, but if something does change, I will let you guys know. So that way we're keeping up. So you guys have seen my paycheck to paycheck budgets. And so you kind of know all my categories. And I have very little wiggle room in my budget because I try to pay so much to my debt. And it was done by design a long time ago. And I think back in 2017, I can't remember if it was before I went to FPU or as a result of going to FPU, but the goal of paying 50% was there. And I also wanted a budget that would work in good times and in bad times. And so that's why you don't see a lot of cuts on my budget, because I have very little things to cut out because I've been doing that all along and phasing certain things out. And so I know it doesn't make for a fun budget. I have little places where I can do that. But I started out at like $127,000 in debt. Don't remember the exact number, but 127 I remember. And so at that time in 2017, my gross was 66, I think 66,600 or $619 or something like that. It was like that. And that's a lot. And so I had to make all the cuts and everything then. But I wanted to always be mindful of life creep because it happens slowly but surely. Things start building up, and I wanted to make sure that I was paying all those things, paying all the things off, all the debt that I could get off. And so the only thing I have left is my student loan, and I'm kind of happy that it is the last thing that I have left, because if I had done it the way it was designed and organized everything the way it was designed and not grouped my student loans together, I wouldn't have this opportunity to take advantage of the 0% interest. Because credit cards, is anybody with credit cards doing that? I haven't heard anything, but I wouldn't have that leeway. I know with my car, I wouldn't have that leeway. or at least I don't think so, since I don't have a car note anymore. I don't know. But that was the mindset behind the whole thing, was designing something for myself that was livable, that I could stand for a prolonged period of time. Because just like anybody else, I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And so I didn't want to have it be so tough like I couldn't do it, like, but have it be challenging along the way. And also, I knew I had a long journey ahead of me. I knew it was 7 years at that time when I projected it out. But it was like having it as tough, tight as it was the way I got it down to 5 years. And so I know the way I'm going to pay this debt, it's going to be, it may take off a month or so on the end, but I'll take it. I'll get out of debt as quickly as I possibly can. And, but what I want is a future where if something like this happens, I don't have to be worried about anything, because I got my emergency fund, I have this, I have that. I'll still be worried from the standpoint that you have to tap into the emergency fund. That's always something that's going to worry me, but at least I know I won't owe anybody. I won't have that added stress. What I'll need to take care of is just those things that are essential, and I know how to dial back into living off of what I need and not trying to take care of all my wants and all this other stuff that I have around me. Also, Dave Ramsey always has, like, baby step number 7 is to live and give like no one else. And for me, you guys know I volunteer because my money goes to my debt. I don't have a lot of money to donate. I do donate out of my paycheck, but I don't have a lot of discretionary money to give. And I saw Tanisha on the Fund and Budget Act. She did that. And I'm like, that's what debt freedom does. For those people who want to give, you can whenever you choose to. Like, you don't have to decide between paying debt and giving. You can just go ahead and say, hey, today I'm going to give. And that's the future I want for myself. Yeah, I want to do some traveling and all this other stuff, but in the end, I want to be able to help others when they need it. Because the way I see that, and the way it motivates me to just stay on this and get this crap done in the next 6 months, is because the government came up with something. They got to argue about it. They got to vote on it, and then it goes into effect. She just said, I want to do X. Which one's time frame is the shortest? Hers. And I think that's what Dave is always talking about. It's like, yeah, it's tight for a short period of time if you don't have debt like mine. Okay, so if you don't have debt like mine, it's a tight period for a few years, and then you're to that point where you can actually give and help other people, especially if that's in your thing to do. I think some people think that people who are on budgets or stuff like that, that they're stingy or they're just trying to amass wealth for themselves. But no, I think it's different. I think a lot of people want to be in a position not only just to help themselves, to be able to help their families, to help their friends, to help perfect strangers. So, that's the future I want for myself. When I decide I want to do something, I just want to go boop, and it's done. I don't, it's hard, you're hearing all these different stories, people getting laid off, and the stress. And I've been there, even though I wasn't laid off. I know what that feels like. I know how it chokes you up and how you don't sleep at night, how your attention is affected, like your ability to pay attention. And you're just like snipping at everybody, or at least I was. That's the way I handle extreme stress. I'm either very snippy or I need to take a nap. Probably need to take a nap anyway. But yeah, that's the future I want. And I think that's what's going to keep me motivated is I want to be like that. I want to be that person who can say, hey, today I want to pay for X and just be able to do it and not have to worry about, oh, I got this mountain of student loan debt that I put on myself. That ain't nobody's problem but my own. I can't say, oh, yeah, I was 18 and I did that. No, hon, I was in my 30s and I did all of that. But anywho, I just wanted to catch you guys up on what's going on over here, how everything's about to how everything's going. Get the words out, Tracy. How's everything going here? Um, I am hanging in there. I'm going a little stir crazy. Actually, downstairs today, still unpacking in in my living room and work. But anywho, I just want to catch you guys up and let y'all know my plans. And so if you don't see me paying out my debt immediately, it's only because I'm trying to hold it until I hear right before, I hear from work and then I know everything's good. Boom, make the payment. Before I used to get that money, I got my budget, pay that money out as quickly as possible. And the only reason why I did that was because I had a shopping problem. And if it ain't here, if it ain't in that account, I can't spend it. And so what I came up with was, okay, just go ahead and pay it. And so once it's paid out, I can't sit there and be thinking in the back of my head, oh, I got $2,000 sitting in my account. No, I got $100 in my account, which I now have trained myself. I got, that $100 equals zero. That's all I got. So I can't do any damage. And that's why it was the way it was. So now the videos for my pay debt with me, they will be delayed a little bit just so I can make sure everything's okay. And then boom, I'll make the payment. But I just want to catch you guys up. And so I hope y'all stay safe and take care of yourselves and your loved ones. If you know anybody that's elderly nearby, check on them. And y'all have a super fantastic morning, afternoon, and evening. And I will talk to y'all later. Bye.